Ignacio, principal person in Codurance, and I will be today the moderator of this properly informal chat, if we can say something between Firmenich and Codurance. Lesmes, please.
Yes, I'm Lesmes Lopez. I work as an agile delivery manager in Codurance, and I am working with Firmenich since I think more than 1 year ago, when we started our partnership. And I'm doing what I can in order to give the best value for Scentmate. Michael, do you want to go next? You are the next box yeah.
Happy to do so. Well, hello everybody. My name is Michael Roda. I'm the product lead here at Scentmate Firmenich. So I'm responsible together with the team of product managers and product designers, and then together with the engineering team defining the roadmap and the functionalities we want to build out for our customers, adding new value. And I joined Scentmate over a year ago, and well, super happy to be here today with you to talk about Scentmate Codurance collaboration. Felipe, I'm passing the word to you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Felipe. I'm an engineering lead here at Scentmate. Micha and I, we work quite closely together. We're responsible for making ideas come true and being delivered, all in a very strong, a very good collaboration with Codurance. Thanks a lot for the invite. Thanks a lot, and I'm really happy for being here today. And Alfonso, would you like to go next?
Sure, Felipe, sure. My name is Alfonso Alvarez Prieto, and I'm the general manager and founder of this fantastic adventure that is Scentmate by Firmenich. And as you can see, I have behind a fantastic team with Felipe, with Michael, but also with all of our Codurance partners and friends, by the way. So it's a pleasure to be here, and thank you very much for this invite.
So let's go for it. So before we start, thank you very much, all of you, for your time and for sharing your knowledge, and for sure this is going to be a great conversation. So yes, I will be do a little bit of context. We're going to be our conversation today, informal conversation, and after that, we will asking the people invited in the session. But basically, Firmenich and Scentmate by Codurance, or for Codurance, but our bullet points in the session will be: find a team with correct skills, go from a small team to a large team, how we make sure the technology is capable of scaling to the level we need to open new markets, and maintenance, attract and retain talent in these difficult times, but we are suffering in every technological company. So that's our main for the session. But I mean, I would like to start like, okay, who is Firmenich? What is Scentmate's vision? And I think I can address to Alfonso. I think you are the most fit person for this kind of question. You know what I mean? It's kind of Firmenich and Scentmate, if you don't mind, please.
Thanks, Raul. Thanks, Ruben. Sorry. So Firmenich, it's a company that we have been around for 127 years, and we are behind all the fragrances and things that smell around the world. So not only things that you put on, like fine fragrance, but also shampoos, detergents, everything that has a scent needs behind to have a perfumer. And these perfumers is a very rare profile, because a perfumer, it takes around 15 to 20 years to actually fully train. They need to follow a lot of things. And this industry, it's a very, very, I would say, a small industry, but big industry. We are behind a lot of brands, a lot of products, and we provide this fantastic knowledge, which is the knowledge of perfumery. So that is pretty much Firmenich. And when we started this adventure at Firmenich, we realized one thing. So I started there as director of strategy and business development. And one of the realizations came, like, there is a lot of barriers of entry that have been completely, I would say, lowered for brands to start a brand. one of the biggest barrier of entry was distribution. And today, thanks to the digital environment, thanks to social media, thanks to internet, everyone can promote their own brand. So it's a huge game changer. Not only that, we see that a lot of people, there's a lot of entrepreneurs, there's a lot of independent brands that are being created, and or industry business model. I'm not talking about Firmenich, but a lot of the fragrance houses that are also our competitors, but within the industry. We were catering to, I would say, classical, rather larger companies that are well known for consumer products. And we say, hey, but the future is also going towards these independent brands, these smaller, I would say, entrepreneurs that want to create a brand, that want to reach the consumer with a very specific proposal, and we should be there. And that's when the idea of Scentmate by Firmenich came across. We say, how do we share this craftsmanship? And that's a very important word, because for Codurance, craftsmanship is also a very important word. How do we share this craftsmanship of perfumery, this quality, all these amazing ingredients that we produce and that are behind our fragrances, all the data we have, because we have 50 years of consumer insights data. How do we share all these while remaining super agile and fast for these independent brands and entrepreneurs? And the answer came by combining all this know-how leveraged by digitization, AI, and a mixed culture. And that's pretty much who we are.
Okay, thank you very much, Alfonso. And one more for you, if to get more context properly, where the project come from? I mean, who got the idea? How was properly, you know, the beginning of this project?
I think it was a crazy idea. So when you do a strategy, you can go for a big consulting company and do the strategy, or you can really go down to the front and ask the people who are actually selling and doing the fragrances and the business where the business is going. So we decided to go for the second one. And basically, I traveled to Johannesburg, Dubai, Shanghai, Mumbai, New York, New Jersey, Sao Paulo. And I asked the people, the perfumers, the salespeople at Firmenich that were dealing with these clients, that were dealing in these regions, what is the future? Let's build a strategy together. And this need that I was mentioning came very, very strong. They say, hey, you know, we have all these fantastic clients, but we have a new breed of clients that are coming by, and we're not capable of supporting their needs. So what can we do? And that was the seed of Scentmate. Then we look at basically our organic and inorganic strategies and say, let's be frank. What if we build the fragrance house of the 21st century? And what if we put these customers by design from inception at the center of it? And that's how this crazy idea started. And then the rest is really sharing this idea and having amazing people and culture joining this vision. So we started, we were myself, a perfumer, Dominic, who was a senior, who was a vice president in Firmenich, and say, like, let's go to start focusing on creating this. That was the initial seeding, and then start growing. And 1 year ago, we actually launched Scentmate into the public. The initial team, we were something like 8 people, and I have 2 of my most amazing, brilliant brains here, who are Michael and Felipe with us today, and they joined the vision. And I have to say, and I'm sorry, I'm getting too long, but attracting talent in this digital environment is super tough. And I think the value proposition about the vision of what we want to do, which is it's very simple. We want to make sure entrepreneurs and these independent brands, they have a tough life, because they need to think about financing, social media, promotion, distribution, caps, packaging, fragrances. So they have a lot of things in their plate. And our mission, we wake up every single morning to make at least the fragrance part, and then we'll see their lives easier. That's the mission. And we share this with Felipe, Michael. They join us. We were 8. And now we have 1 year, 1 year has come by, and now we are a team of 50 passionate individuals. And that's a little bit the history of what we come from and why we're here.
Wow, thank you very much, Alfonso, for the big explanation. I'm gonna take part of your context or speech, and I hear things like seed, I hear things like minimal product or MVP, if I can say something to translate properly, in our argot. And I'm gonna ask now to Michael. I mean, after this MVP, how do you did that kind of form to the product properly in order to be viable? In order to be like, okay, this is an MVP, but we would like to do something with that kind of product or starting to make something. Could you explain it just a little bit for us, please?
Absolutely. I mean, super question. I mean, for us, from the very beginning, the value prop which we wanted to get out to the customer, even with the MVP, is really to get the right fragrance to our customers really fast, and that online. And I think there are 2 promises in it. The first one is to get the right fragrance, and as Alfonso already outlined, with AI, really being capable to do the matchmaking between the customer's brief. The customer really is defining online all the criteria for which market, and the hardest part of the experience, what should the fragrance smell like? And it's a very sensorial experience if you're translating online, which is the hardest part of the product and engineering work we do. And the second part is the speed. So it's not only about getting the right fragrance, also getting it quick to the customer. And obviously the whole digitalization around it is helping us to cut down tremendously the lead times of getting, we call it the smell to nose, how quick the fragrance, the sample at the very beginning is with the customer, which is for free on the platform. Customer can test it for free, and we potentially need to do reworks, adaptations, and at a certain point, customer says, hey, this is it, and I want to order, and he orders it online. So, and there is another element, which is in regards to fast, also optimizing the supply chain, but maybe that for a later moment. And when we have looked at the MVP, we actually realized pretty soon that there are actually 2 strategic pillars we want to really work hard. And one obviously is the core, the algorithm, the curation engine we have, and there from an MVP to scaling up, I think there were 2 key elements. One is actually making sure that this is more stable, that we can bring in more fragrances into the algorithm, that all the process we have in the background, getting data into our library, which is automatically running in the background, that really scales beyond the couple of hundreds initial fragrances we have to a couple of thousands fragrances as we go forward, and multiple data points of dozens of years of Firmenich. And the other part obviously is improving the capability of the customer express what the fragrance should smell like. We call that the olfactive discovery, and which is really the hardest part, where we also have been now iterating over the last couple of months. And just recently we launched a functionality which we call the main theme, where the customer actually can say what should be the main smell be like of the fragrance. So that was one strategic pillar, and the other one, which from a MVP perspective obviously was taken out of the scope, it's rather around tooling, because we have casuistics where we need manual help from our business developers, and obviously behind the whole platform we have our creative and technical perfumers, which are the other part of our venture. So it's not only a digital platform, it's also the perfumists helping us to shape this product, and we needed to augment the tooling for our internal stakeholders, and that was the other push, the other strategic element which we've been pushing forward now over the last month, and is still an ongoing topic. But these were the main strategic topics. Obviously, other topics around security. I mean, as you can imagine, we are part of Firmenich, so from an enterprise security perspective, we have a lot of policies we need to comply with, which from an MVP perspective was a bit parked apart, but now everything is coming back and we need to comply with one thing. So that's also an element. So, I mean, really multiple fronts to attack. But as said, the 2 strategic ones that we brought forward is algorithm and the tooling for the moment.
That's perfect, Michael. I mean, really, really good explanation about, how you were pivoting properly from the MVP to the product that you are managing. And I think, thank you, Michael. I'm sorry, Felipe, but you're going to be my next victim. When Codurance come from to this technical part, and, could you give us a properly explanation on how how was your mind in that moment with the technical things and in the collaboration of Codurance, please?
Absolutely. By the way, before I start, I'm having some connectivity issues, so if I cut, you know what to expect. It's actually a fun story. So 2 weeks before I joined Firmenich, Jose, who is the managing director of Codurance, had sent me a message on LinkedIn saying, "Hey, how do you feel about joining us, etc. Would you like to do our recruiting process?" And I told him, "Hey, I just accepted an offer. I'm super sorry. I know Codurance. I'm aware of the whole software craftspeople movement, etc. I find it super interesting, but I just accepted an offer." But there was a trick. When I accepted the offer, I knew the first challenge we had was that we had a team developing an MVP, and they would disappear from the picture in May. I joined the team by the end of March, so I had 1 month to spin up a new team. And so 2 weeks after talking to Jose, I sent him another message saying, "Hey, we need to talk. So I have this challenge, and maybe you can help us." And we started talking, and this is something that was really, really good. Codurance really understood our problem and acted as real partners from the very beginning. Like in a matter of days, Codurance came back to us with a proposal of, okay, we can spin up a team like this and this and this. We can have people from England in the beginning, and then we move to a team in Spain, etc. Now, going back to your original question, why Codurance? Because we were so short in time, and because we had so many challenges ahead of us, I wanted to work with people that I knew would be aligned with what I had in mind in terms of engineering culture from the very beginning. So I come from a context where people were used to do pair programming, continuous delivery, test-driven development. And it would take me quite some time to first find the right talent and then to train them onto this mindset, because not everyone shares this mindset in the market. So Codurance was a great fit to what we wanted to do from the very beginning. And it was a conscious choice. It was not just a random choice. There's these Codurance guys, I heard about them. No, it was a very conscious choice in a very well-defined direction. Like, this is where we want to go. These people, they are really aligned with us. Where did you lose me?
Like 15 seconds ago.
Yeah, 10 seconds ago, when you were start properly to open that kind of mixed teams and how Codurance are working inside of the company. If you can keep it going with that part, please.
Sure. Yes.
So mixed teams. Hang on, let me close my mic. Okay. So as I was saying, Codurance was a really conscious decision. We wanted to go with people that were really aligned with us. And we started by mixing people. Like, we had 2 developers in the beginning, and so we structured the team in a way that we had Codurance people mixed with our own devs, so that we could grow in a sustainable base. We didn't want to have just Codurance people working in one place, isolated from everything else. So from the very beginning, we wanted to have people from both sides co-working and all towards the same direction.
Okay, I mean, we are talking about a mixed culture between 2 companies and former one team properly. It's like, okay, this is the team that they are going to work in, and don't mind, properly to set up properly which one is going to be. And do you think the Codurance fit was really, really good in that project or in that experiment for Scentmate? It's something like that. Okay.
I would like to add something here, because I am really excited remembering those times. I feel really excited about how we started, and for what I found is that we started to working together with as Felipe said, with very similar values, with knowing each other, knowing what we were expecting of each other, in a very easy manner. So it was really easy to understand what what Scentmate was needing in terms of technical practices, but also in cultural in culture and in values. But I would like to ask something before continuing with this. I would like to ask something is how come a company like Scentmate wants to have this kind of teams in order to develop their own product? It's not very common to decide and to invest in this way to do the things. And I would like to open the question to you.
I think I can answer and then I will also like Felipe and Michael to add and to build to this. One of the biggest factors of failure for this kind of, because at the end Firmenich is a 10,000 people corporation, and when you do a digital venture, when you do something, a startup within a corporation, the biggest pitfall is to think that digitalization is just creating a platform. Here you have it, and then you put a little bit of like sales team, marketing team, and that just works.
And
And that's
sometimes
the biggest mistake.
just integrating things from other providers, not building the things by yourself. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and thinking that what you get is a final product, you know, like, oh, I want to do just a platform and that's it. And if you don't understand that this is actually a whole new business model, then you're not setting yourself for success. So one of our biggest learnings is that we need to have this specific culture, a digital culture. So creating a successful venture that relies on digitization, you need to adopt the best practices that come with it. Per coding. So when Felipe tells us about, I start sharing, hey, Alfonso, you know what? I want to start in like, this is the vision of the kind of things that I want to have in the team. I say like, bring it on. You know, that's the way. The biggest factor of success, even before the business plan, everything is culture and the people behind. And then everything can be possible. And then you attract the right level of talents. And then you attract the right partners like Codurance that support this culture, that goes towards this direction. We talk about OKRs, we talk about per coding, we talk about Agile, we talk Scrum, everything. But it's not just concept. It's the entire story that you need to buy in. If you don't have the buy-in on the entire philosophy, it's not going to work. And if you don't think that this is a whole new business model that relies on digitization as a mean, not as a tool or as an end, then you're going to fail. And that's where I think that digitization is a philosophy. It's something that you need to embrace from A to C to have it right. And that's why I think that I was extremely happy, and I'm extremely happy of the team that we have, of the culture that we have, and Codurance is a key part of that, because you have also this craftsmanship, you have also this digital culture, and maybe Michael and Felipe, I mean, you guys are also behind this, and you've been huge pushers of this philosophy. So maybe you can add a little bit of color to that.
Yeah, super happy to underline that. I mean, I really buy your message, what you're sharing 100%. Also, the continuity we wanted to give. No, I mean, it should be a product where in the really little cycles we get our stuff tested with our customers, with users, obtain feedback, iterate, learn, and obviously by doing a classical project, you never achieve that. No, and that's a bit of different thinking we wanted to bring into Scentmate from the very beginning. And maybe another element is also the team setup we have. No, I mean, we have fully autonomous teams, Scrum teams. Also the roles which we've set up there, and we have in each team one product manager bringing in the product business vision for the vertical slice of ownership she or he has of the value chain of the product, owns the roadmap, owns the discovery, owns the delivery together with the team. We have a product designer sitting in that specific team, really helping to flesh out the customer use experience, and then obviously the full stack engineers coming from Scentmate and also from Codurance, bring together really a autonomous team, bring value to the customer. And I think that was a key thought from the very, very beginning when Scentmate was initiated, that we don't want to build a project in a waterfallish way, 6-9 months of inception, and then leave it, park it, and revisit in 2 years' time. That we need continuity, we need to be with the customer and really test, learn, and get out stuff quick. And I think the model which we have achieved together with Codurance is really the right way to go forward. And I think that the results we have really show that. I don't know, Felipe, if you want to add something more from an engineering angle on this.
Necessarily from an engineer perspective, is that, am I freezing again? Ah, damn it.
No, it's fine. It's
Yeah?
fine.
All right.
Fine.
Okay, I'm sorry for that. One thing maybe to add is that yes, we could do it with the with the team that we offshore stuff, but we're not just delivering a project. This is not an endeavor with a beginning date and an end date. We're building a whole company from scratch, and that's different. We need people that are not only engaged with what we're trying to achieve, but that are able to withhold the knowledge and that are able to evolve along the way. So yes, we could have hired like an external team and said, this is what you need this is what you need to do. This is the time that you have, but it just wouldn't fit what we're actually trying to achieve in the end.
Exactly. This is one of the things that I am really excited about working together, because when we started, the first what I see is that we have a real similar concept about the team setups and about how we do everything. But then we started just being mixed in a small team, but we have continuously been improving everything, because what we have been doing together is like building the company together, helping in anything that we have been capable to help you improve. For instance, we have been also giving a hand maybe sometimes in recruiting, sometimes in defining some processes like the on-call systems or the alerting systems. Also, at the beginning, we were working really Kanbanized. Let's say we have been adapting continuously to what was needed at that point, right? At the beginning, we started working in like really Kanbanized with a kind of Kanban, not obsessed with Scrum ceremonies, but at the end we are having more autonomous teams with these Scrum ceremonies, and continuously we have been working together in all the teams. We are mixed in order to give the best value. And for me, one of the things that Codurance has been giving in that case, it's flexibility. We have been adapting to the needs through this whole year to what Scentmate has needed at each point of all the steps that we have been doing.
Talking about taking a few minutes back, and you are talking about a lot of culture, maybe, or new processes, or how is evolutioning the things inside of Scentmate. So do you think Codurance, this is a question maybe for Michael or Felipe, or both of them. Do you think Codurance are, helping you properly in order to adapt the culture things or evolutionary things inside of Scentmate? Do you think are we helped with that properly?
Absolutely. I think we have been, as Lesmes mentioned, we have been very aligned from the very beginning, and not only in terms of engineering practices, but also in other kinds of cultural traits. Like one concept that is very important to us is the whole concept of diversity and inclusion. And it was a really easy fit with Codurance. We have very, very similar views. And in the end, Codurance also helps us promoting those kinds of values to outside the product and engineering organization inside of Scentmate. We have 5 departments in Scentmate. 2 of them are product and engineering, but in the end, we consider ourselves just one. And as in many other startups, we are promoters of many things. We are giving regular talks. And for instance, a couple months ago, we had Fran Avila doing a talk for us. And we have this collaboration here right now as well. So it has been definitely been a very fruitful collaboration in terms of culture beyond engineering practices. I don't know, Michel, if you'd like to add on top of it.
Maybe one part to highlight is also beyond the engineering practices is customer business centricity. I think really every single team member, no matter if it's product or full stack engineer, we really embrace to understand why are we doing things, what impact can it have on business. And I mean, from a product perspective, this is super important, having technical team members with you, which really go beyond on, I will put in quotation marks, just delivering, actually connecting the dots and saying, how does that relate to the business? How does that relate to the creator? And I think this is really great for us from a product perspective to do.
Thank you very much, both. And just to, in order to be in that kind of line, do you think Firmenich, Scentmate in this case, is leading a new part of the development product inside of the company, of your company? Is going to be a reference even in the industry, maybe in that kind of working?
I think it's more than what is it going to be. It's our ambition, and our ambition is to put the client at the center of it, and the clients are asking for it. They really want to have their lives improve, made easier when it comes to selecting fragrances. And I think that the entire company, so obviously I cannot disclose everything, but the entire company is already thinking about how can we push this to different regions? How can we push these to even bigger clients? Even, I have to say, bigger clients that were not the target of Scentmate. They say, hey, we love this because we want to test faster the brands that we are developing. So I think there's a global need in terms of fragrances, but I will also throw a hook and say, are making the mission is making the life of our clients easier. So fragrance is a big part, is the hook, is what we know how to do best. But if we start thinking about in this mentality, we can even go way beyond just fragrances and thinking in a bigger and a more holistic model and a more holistic service. So I think definitely yes, but instead of like focusing ourselves into what can Firmenich do with Scentmate and everything, we will always stay true to ourselves, which is let's focus on the client and let's see where the client takes us.
Actually, talking about being a role model, I can say that inside Firmenich, we already are. So for instance, recently we went through the ISO certification process, and we were one of the few selected teams that served that were used to collect evidence of several practices. And internally also, it's quite funny sometimes to have some conversations. The other day I was having a conversation with someone from security team, and they asked us who approves the changes that go to production. We were like, they just go, we just continuous delivery. And it was such a cultural shock. It was actually fun to see that. So seeing this kind of disruption happening on a day-to-day basis, and then have people come to us and ask, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? And it's quite interesting.
Yes, yes, please.
Just wanted to say that one thing that some feedback that we are receiving, because we collaborate with different parts of Firmenich also, because we need to follow some policies and we need to integrate some systems sometime. So one of the feedbacks that we are receiving as Scentmate, because I'm talking as Codurance, but I'm talking about a Scentmate person. So one of the feedbacks that we receive usually is that they are really happy with us because we have a very fast response in anything they ask for us. So, and I have heard this several times. So also some other people in other parts of Firmenich is noticing, understanding that we are doing something that is different, and it has a good impact.
So thank you very much. Yes, in order to be finalizing this interesting session, I would like to say just the unique things from your side. And I would like to ask you, which one is the best part for Alfonso, which one is the best part for Lesmes, for Michael, and for Felipe. But I would like to reply just in one word. It's like, okay, for me, the thing from the project is like the team, or I don't know, the culture, or wherever which you prefer. But I would like to say that in order to summarize which one is the collaboration. So Alfonso, do you think you're gonna be the first one?
No, I will let my team and everyone answer first.
That's perfect. Then Michael, Felipe, who's gonna be?
I mean, I can take it first. I mean, you mentioned team, people. No? I mean, people is if you look for one keyword, no, it would be people.
Perfect. Thank you, Michael. Felipe.
Culture, simple, straight.
Brilliant. Let's mess.
Only one word. Then collaboration.
Thank you very much. Alfonso, you want to jump in?
Team. I'm in love with the team.
I mean, Manu, you're straight from the trenches. What do you say?
I would say teamwork, without doubt.
This is 2 words in one.
Thank you very much to all of you. Just in order to close this session, just to let the people, we are in the Des Malaga. This is the reason we are all together in the same place, in the same hotel of the lobby of the hotel that we are doing this session. Just to mention that we are having really good time in the Malaga sessions and with the meetings and talking again with straight with the people after the COVID and after the pandemic session. So thank you very much, all of you. It was really nice chat, really nice conversation, and hope to see you soon and do again, because I think really interesting for everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
very
much
much.
for having
Everyone.
us.